fellow YouTubers, this is Utah Moses here for my new DVD review for the movie From Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn is about two thieves who are brothers named Seth and Richie Gecko, who are trying to make it over to the border of Mexico, so they take hostage of the Fuller family and take hold of the trailer home so that they can get over there, so then they can reach this bar called the Titty Twister. And so once they reach there, after hanging around there for a bit, they find out that the place is infested with vampires and they need to survive the night there. I enjoyed the hell out of From Dusk Till Dawn, and this was before Robert Rodriquesz didn't crowbar all of his exploitation style of filming like he did with Planet Terror or Machete. Now don't get me wrong, I really liked those movies and how they did those styles, but the editing was crazy as hell, some of the violence got screwed up, and there was a lot more actors in those movies that were terrible in their parts. From Dusk Till Dawn, it's much better than those movies, and I find George Clooney to be awesome as Seth Gecko. Either when he's calm or beating people to a pulp, he was great in the role. And before I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, I didn't like George Clooney, and that was because the first movie I saw him in was Batman and Robin. Yeah, I know. Back then I was in my Batman Tim Burton phase when I first saw him in that movie. Anyway, even though Harvey Keitel plays a former priest in this, he's still really badass, and it was neat to see him killing vampires with a cross and stake, which would form a cross. And Juliette Lewis as his daughter, she was pretty funny, and I liked Fred Williamson and Tom Savini, who play a couple bikers who fights off these vampires, and how they did it, it was pretty neat as well, and I need to find another word other than neat. Quentin Tarantino stars as Richie Gecko and also wrote the script to this, and he was really terrible in the role, but I just loved his script. I liked how it just made a transition from crime thriller from the first half to horror in the second part, in a surprising way. Although, I just find it really odd that he does commentary for all the films that he wrote for, and not the ones that he directed. And all the cool dialogue is given to George Clooney, which I find myself repeating them to myself because they were just really that neat to listen to. And those were all lines that Quentin Tarantino was meant to say for his character. But it sounds a lot better coming from Clooney.
One question, and all I want is a yes or no answer. Do you want to live through this?
Yes.
Good. Rule number one, no noise, no questions. If you make a noise, Mr. 44 makes a noise. If you ask a question, Mr. 44 answers it. Now, are you absolutely, positively clear about rule number one?
Yes.
Rule number two. You do what we say when we say it. If you don't, see rule number one. Rule number three, don't you ever try and fucking run on us. Because I got 6 little friends, and they can all run faster than you can. Open your eyes.
I want to give special mention that there's a scene where Selma Hayek is dancing around half naked with a snake around her neck. That will definitely make you arouse, before she changes into a vampire, of course. Now, speaking of the vampires, I thought they were really gruesome looking, and I mean that in a good way, because they're just awful looking at the point where you don't want to eat anything during those parts at all. and the special effects were really great, especially during the parts where vampires were exploding or when they transform from humans to vampires. And I especially liked the look of that rat creature thing, that thing that would come out of a vampire. I thought that looked like my ex-girlfriend when she lost a lot of weight that time. It wasn't a pretty sight. So, in conclusion, From Dusk Till Dawn isn't a movie that you need to take seriously because there are several parts that would make you laugh, like Tom Savini's cock gun or Cheech Marin taking on a dozen roles in this, and Quentin Tarantino's outbreaks as Richie Gecko is just ridiculous. And I even heard that there are several TV channels that play this movie. They just censored the hell out of it at the point where it's just very unwatchable. And even at the most horrifying scenes, you would find yourself giggling at them because they're just really something that you can't take seriously, like I said before. So, this is a movie that you definitely need to own on video so that you can enjoy all that George Clooney-ness. And Robert Rodriquesz goodness. Out of 5, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. This is a movie that's indeed worth owning in your collection. Now, on to the special features. We have feature commentary with Robert Rodriquesz and Quentin Tarantino, outtakes, Hollywood Goes to Hell featurette, trailer, TV spots, music videos, still gallery, the art of making the movie, with commentary by the director, deleted scenes and alternate takes on the set, cast and crew bios, and the full-length feature film Full Tilt Boogie, where it's a documentary of the making of From Dusk Till Dawn. So, that's all for my review. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back later. Until then, this is Utah Moses, signing out.